Here we are. I'm with my amazing colleagues, the leaders of June Jordan School for Equity. It's such a privilege to get to work with them because it's the school that has my heart, a school that I helped to found in 2003 and was one of the first co-principals at. And these two fearless leaders are leading June Jordan through the pandemic moment, and I wanted to just check in with them about their experience right now. So if each of you could just introduce yourselves briefly, and then Nick, maybe you can give a little context about the school.
My name is Amanda, and I'm the assistant principal of June Jordan. This is my first year with the school.
Hi, my name is Nicholas Archibald, and I'm the principal, and this is my second year at June Jordan. And ultimately, we're a small school by design, rooted in social justice, community, and building, supporting our students with just creative thinking, creating independent thinkers. So one of the main pillars of our school, because we're so small and because this is what we feel is important to make the most impact in our community, is really building strong relationships with our students, with our families, but also just amongst our staff. Because in order to get the work, in order to do the work, it requires so much collaboration and empathy and understanding. And so the connectivity on all those tiers are like really important, and it's the way that we thrive as a community.
Nice, thank you. And Amanda, can you tell us about just something you're learning about leadership, especially as a first-year AP amidst this kind of COVID moment we're in?
But I think what I would say is that we're all so often focused on making sure we hit check boxes in our role and making sure that we are meeting those check boxes not only for our school site, but particularly just for ourselves as leaders. And I think this has reminded me so much of the humanity of the work that we're doing. And how sometimes you just got to stop and remember that you also are human in this experience, and that that everybody else is, right? As much as we want to make sure that curriculum is getting out and that every student has a laptop, at some point we have to remember that being in a school, being in education, it's not just about taking care of the kids. It's also about taking care of all of us together in one space.
Thank you for that. Kind of picking up on that theme, Nick, I know you guys have been doing one-on-ones with staff, sort of like little mini listening check-ins or wellness checks. And I wanted to hear from you how you've set those up, kind of what the structure looks like, and then what has been the impact and what you've learned from them.
Yeah, so we're a small school, so I think we have I'm not sure what it would look like in a really large comprehensive school, but for us being a small community, Amanda and I split the staff up, and we roughly have about 25 folks each, which includes our entire staff, front office, paras, T10, so the entire staff. And we just split that up amongst ourselves and scheduled bi-weekly 15-minute check-ins. I have mine Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, so I know that those are my days. And essentially, a couple things we wanted. One was to just be in the work with our teachers, because we know that this is what we were asking them to do with their advisees, right? To call our students and check in with the students. So one of the benefits was for us to be with them in that work, knowing that we're also doing that, maybe not with students, but with staff. But then also to just have an opportunity to see how folks were doing throughout the path of, the school closures. Prior to school closing, we knew that we were aware of 2 staff members that were having some difficulties with things at home, with families being sick and things of that nature. So that was already on the radar. And so once we closed, those 2 people I'm thinking of, I was thinking about them as well. So we just decided that it would be helpful for us to, outside of having an agenda for work or asking about, your lesson plans and things of that nature, just having a space where we're coming with no agenda. This is time. How are you doing? What do you want to talk about? And I think it's been super successful. I've gotten direct feedback from folks just saying that they really appreciate having the time. And I think one of the things that I've noticed, which I didn't really think about necessarily before, is that I've really, through this process, been able to build stronger relationships with people by having these one-to-ones. Because some of the folks that I've been able to talk to are people that for whatever reason at school, maybe their classroom's on the opposite hallway, or, just not being bogged down with other things that administrators get caught up in, just not having those opportunities to speak to these to folks in that way. So I think it's been huge. I feel a synergy amongst our staff in a way that I think feels maybe stronger than when we worked together.
Amanda, any final words of advice or wisdom for other leaders in the field who are thinking about how to support their teachers?
Work with your admin partner for sure to build the work that needs to get done. I think that's probably by far the most helpful part for me is that but Nick and I are new in our roles, but we're able to collaborate and ensure that whatever systems we put in place, we are able to do it with, you know, genuine and authenticity. And I don't feel like I could do that solo and in my own little box. So I think continue to collaborate and be open and know that things are going to continue to change. And remember that the fluidity of change is going to continue for quite some time.
And that it sounds like that communication both between the two of you and then one-on-one with your staff members, like keeping that information flowing and keeping that kind of pulse check happening on a regular basis is really, really critical right now. Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for making a minute. I know people will enjoy hearing from the two of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.